Hi, and welcome to Shorts That Are Not Pants Virtual Festival 2020. I'm here with Samantha Henry, the director of 705. Welcome, Samantha.
Hi, thanks for having me, James. I'm
Oh, thanks.
excited.
Yeah, thanks for being with us, and thanks very much for sharing your film with us. I understand it's the first short film that you've made outside of your film school program.
Yes, it is the first short film or any film that I've made outside of the support of my school, and it was just a really fun experience.
Great. I guess my first question is, it appears to be a pandemic kind of film, but maybe you could tell us when it was made.
Yeah, funny enough, it was before I even learned about the pandemic. So I thought of the idea in October of last year. It was before my knowledge of the pandemic. Maybe there had been things going on the news, but it wasn't in like full effect. And yeah, I came up with this idea. Really, it was supposed to be a vignette about an individual, like an ambiguous character, just going about their day-to-day routine, having a cup of coffee, listening to their record, their music, reading a book, and then getting called into work. And it was supposed to be post-apocalyptic. Well, it is. It's post-apocalyptic. Apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I think it just became really timely. It just so happened that pandemic broke out, and the costume that I had for my character seems to be what we're unfortunately wearing nowadays. So
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
it was just a
Um,
fluke, really.
well, I mean, it really resonated with me while I was watching it, obviously earlier in the year, and we saw a lot. Believe me, a lot of pandemic films that were not. I'm not going to say yours was fun, but it had a different sense of. I don't know. There was a sense of humor to it, I think, a little bit, and
Mhm.
so we didn't pick a lot of films that even related to pandemic type stuff. So yours stood out, even though it wasn't technically a pandemic film. Um,
Yeah.
what about the music that you chose? The music's kind of important. It starts off with someone putting on a record. And how did you choose the song? And what did the song kind of mean in terms of the tone of the film?
Yeah, so I actually was fortunate enough to work with a music composer. So that's a completely original song done by one of my friends who is a music composer. And basically, I let him run with it, but I gave him the input that I wanted to do something a little bit more 80s themed, or something that kind of showed that this character was reminiscing, because he's listening to a record. Sorry, it's ambiguous, it's not supposed to be gendered. The character is listening to a record, and kind of you can see through little tidbit, like little flashes of either the photos on the fridge or the newspaper clipping, that it's kind of a dated timepiece. So I kind of wanted to have that like olden feel, that sort of funk,
Yeah,
groovy like tune, and I
yeah.
kind of just let it run with it. And yeah, I was really happy with how the music came out.
Yeah, it's great. And the vinyl record, obviously, that's a throwback kind of feeling to it as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. The book too, I just looked a little more closely the second time that I watched the film, and it's a book by Peter Newman, who's a very famous Canadian writer about politics. And I don't know if you just chose it for the title, but the full title of the book was "The Distemper of Our Times: Canadian Politics in Transition." It was written in 1968, which was about the turbulent kind of 60s in Canadian politics. And I guess the page that you focus on, we read a little bit about preventing World War III, and I guess that's your sort of your post-apocalyptic thing. But was there anything else in the book? Was it just a title, or was there more to it than that?
It was definitely the title initially. So I was looking for props, and as I came across the book in a thrift store, and I saw the title, and I thought, absolutely, that totally fits with the theme and the vibe that I'm going for. I did want to sort of allude to the end of the world, going into like World War III, or just this post-apocalyptic sort of inhospitable world. Just to set that tone, I thought the title itself was a great start. But then when I read into it and I flipped through a couple of the pages, I saw that line and I was like, this is so perfect for what I want to do. And it was just kind of like a great way to incorporate it into the vignette.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like the 60s. The people thought that the post-apocalyptic would be sort of a nuclear war scenario, and here we are, and it's not quite what we thought, but and hopefully it's not post-apocalyptic yet. But I mean, we certainly feel the atmosphere is the same. What would be the next project that you're working on? Have you got plans for this to go further, or are you working on a different idea completely? Another short film, maybe, or something longer?
Right now I'm participating in a 48-hour film festival this weekend.
Oh, wow. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be a little different with the COVID restrictions, very small crew. Well, I'm used to that. The short 705 was virtually it was just me, really, as the crew, and I had some help with the post music. But yeah, so this weekend I'm pushing myself to do a 48-hour challenge. I don't know what it's going to be surrounding yet, because they give us the theme as well as one sentence we have to incorporate into the short on Friday. So I've yet to know, but I'm excited about the spontaneity of it all.
Yeah, I like the sort of the constrictions. Like, they give you a lot of restrictions, and you have to be creative about that. That's great. Well, thank you very much again for sharing your film with us. We look forward to seeing what's next from you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Okay.